Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the Daily Market Insight for Wednesday, the 10th of May. All right, now this is the main game, right? This is what we've been waiting for almost since the end of last week after the non-farm payrolls and the Fed meeting. It's really coming down to inflation. Now, the core numbers include energy and food. These are the numbers the Fed have been working with. So I haven't seen a clear-cut opportunity like this for some time. Now, the forecasts here, all right, we're looking at, so the core numbers here, 5.5 and 0.4. Okay, so that's the actual forecast we're looking at, these two numbers here. Now, importantly, the range for this data is very important. A number below 5.2, the dollar falls. Okay, the chance for the Fed to definitely not be hiking rates is on, et cetera, and so forth. So to me, it's a very clear-cut situation where weaker numbers, right? So if we get a number, as I said, the forecast here for the year-on-year number, 5.5. If that's 5.4, 5.3, we might get a slightly lower dollar, right, on some instruments. Equities should rally, but what we're really looking for is something below the range, okay? Obviously, if it comes out above the top end of the range, well, that's going to put pressure on the Fed again, but all the numbers are suggesting we're going to get a lower inflation print. The good news is the range is coming in a little bit tighter. So all the financial institutions out there are now getting a grip of inflation. They feel they know where it is. And these are the two numbers that we need to be looking for, right? So my view here on the opportunities. Now, if I just show you the charts, there's a few different things going on that you need to be aware of, right? So at the moment, looking at euro, right? Euro's the big dog behind the dollar. Now, it is out of whack. There's a lot of concerns from the ECB that if the US slowdown really intensifies, and it looks like it has, inflation is dropping, well, that's going to impact the ECB, right? Or the Eurozone. And so euro isn't really going anywhere. So just be careful trading euro at the moment because it's not really behaving well. Sterling going up, Aussie going up, Kiwi going up, right? These three pairs here, to me, are where we should be focusing our attention. I'd also say dollar CAD usually, but the fact that oil's all over the place, it is just starting to break back up. Okay, that's an inverted, that green line is an inverted price there, as you can see on the y-axis here. So to me, dollar CAD could end up going up. There's too much influence from oil is where I'm getting to. Now, because we've got euro not really sort of behaving as pure as we'd like, it makes dollar Swiss a little bit tricky as well. Dollar yen, well, you know what? I've been out of the loop with dollar yen for some time, and the dollar index, well, that will move with the outcome. But don't forget, it's 58% of the basket is euro. If euro isn't exactly clear with what's going on, then it's going to make it very difficult to trade the dollar index, maybe dollar Swiss, and the euro, right? The way the ECB is talking, weaker US inflation numbers could lead to a weaker euro. And you're like, what? How does that work, right? So anyway, with that uncertainty around the euro and the fact that it's not breaking higher when the other pairs are, turns me off it, right? I'm focusing on sterling, inflation's high. Aussie, they're talking about potentially higher rates. Kiwis, well, they've already got higher rates as well. These three instruments here, to me, are key. We get a CPI release below 5.2% or thereabouts, these instruments should go straight up, okay? I think it's clear cut. We know exactly what's going on there. Now, when you're looking at equity markets, okay, or the global markets, if I just come over and just tune into those, I've adjusted my support trend lines. They are back in the middle of the range. They are waiting for this data to work out whether the equities go up. We need weaker inflation numbers to push these equity markets up. Stronger inflation numbers, they go down, right? It's pretty much as simple as that. Here you can see oil starting to break just above that short-term resistance line. And that's what I was talking about with regards dollar CAD. A little bit tricky. Gold, well, it's steadied, but we've still got this trend line here. At some point, that will break, and we will see a breakdown. So a no-brainer there would be a break trade on the downside below that trend line. It's only going to break if all the things line up, and that's where we are. So just be aware. I think we've got a good trading opportunity on the data. right? Because we do have sterling, Aussie, Kiwi trending at the moment. We've got a bit of a, I mean, all these instruments have just reset. The equity futures, US equity futures up. We're seeing a bit of a risk-on sentiment day, right? Where the dollar generally falls. Don't worry about dollar yen, and euro, sterling, Aussie, Kiwi rally. But it's going to come down to the numbers, right? And as I said, the key numbers here. I'll just close that down. Let me just get that back up. Well, 5.5% expected for the here we go, for the year on year, and 0.4% for the month on month, right? So keep an eye on those core numbers. As I said, an outcome below this makes it very clear what's going to happen. The Fed can sit back and have a deep sigh of relief. They've got inflation under control, and I think you're going to see weak dollar, particularly against sterling, Aussie, Kiwi. Easy trade. Where it gets a little bit tricky, if the numbers did come out for some weird reason above the high end, well, that's going to confuse the markets, and we'll see corrections in those instruments I mentioned. The only thing I don't like about this whole scenario is definitely euro, right? It's just not playing. And the ECB, I know they're talking about raising interest rates, but you know what? It's like a quick little interest rate hike, and they're already factoring in interest rate cuts in the Eurozone. So it's a little bit tricky. You can come in, check out the 247 trade zone. If you're not sure about various things, ask questions. The traders will help you out. Anyway, that's where we are, guys. It's I'm pretty pumped on the opportunity, basically because it's a pretty clear-cut situation. What's going to happen on a couple of these key pairs? We're just going to wait for the numbers to drop. All right, guys, have a good one. Hope that helps. All the best. Cheerio.